food or something.
I think so. That's a cultural difference, like, because we don't even consider that
Stream
as a
limits.
joke. Like my mom would never think it's
Welcome
funny
to my
say
channel.
to my boyfriend, "Oh, my daughter is ugly." Fine. She might think
Welcome
he's
to my channel.
ugly for me, not the opposite. She thinks like I'm the most pretty woman, you know, so I don't think my mom would ever joke like this. Never.
Yes, in Russia, I think. Like, we never joke about this kind of stuff.
I want to ask though, because I've seen a lot of videos where, like in families where you have like daughters and sons, mothers will be harsher towards their daughters rather than to their sons.
Yeah.
Does that apply to Russia? Because it's mostly Russian creators that I've seen.
I mean, maybe nowadays, in this generation, yeah, but in my generation,
No. Okay.
You don't think there was preferential treatment towards guys?
I feel like a lot of Russian people I know, always a daughter would tell me that her parents always treat more easily her brother, but not her. Like he would go out until 11 p.m., but if she's not home for 9 p.m., they just like call her and shout to her.
maybe it also depends from the like specific part of Russia, because I'm from St. Petersburg and it's very culture city. Even me and in my circle, I think girls treat more better than boys.
Amerikanac, are you ready for our date? Ma šta to radiš?
Do something!
Calm down, zapalit ćeš kuću. Jel imaš onaj aparat za gašenje požara?
Again, super.
What?
Do you have salt?
I wanted to surprise you.
Pa stvarno me jesi iznenadio. Drink this and get out on my way.
Anyway,
Nešto što me mama
so useful.
Wait!
Always like home remedy,
How am I
right?
supposed to open this bottle? Whoa, you're gonna make a mess! What are you doing? It worked.
Of course it did.
I was just thinking we would stay in tonight.
What kind of ingredients do you have?
What?
Nema veze. Don't touch anything. I'll make dinner.
You are amazing.
Of course she is. You're amazing. No, I'm Balkan.
I mean, I think these specific videos are just making fun of how Western men are kind of incapable. I do think that in the Balkans, women do cook more than the male counterparts. That is true. But let's say, you know, like if something was burning, you know, maybe a man would intervene in that sense. So I think it's more a critique towards like an American man not being able to figure out what to do in a crisis situation.
Or like maybe they want to point out like the home remedy, like we always have some kind of homemade remedy for something, like when you're sick or whatever. So she had this kind of like homemade remedy of like doing it with salt instead of like calling the fire department. Maybe that's kind of like a cultural similarity we have between Balkans. But also like, I assuming that this is a first date, the idea of going home to a man's house for first date, I don't think it's really Balkan thing.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
I don't think so.
Usually you go to a restaurant or something. First day you go to his house to eat. It's super weird.
A red flag.
Yeah, it's super not normal. He either broke or he's weird. Like
If they are dating, it's fine, you know.
boyfriend, girlfriend for a long time, but it's normal. But if you are first date, it's totally not normal.
But I can definitely see myself doing something. If I see someone cooking really badly, I'd be like, just leave it to me, I'll cook dinner, you know? Yeah, I do like to take control of certain situation when I see that something is not turning out the way it's supposed to be turning out.
I think this is Balkan thing.
Yeah, I think we have a certain level of like pride and stubbornness. Just leave it, I'll do it, no worries. Yeah. Do you feel like Russians are similar in that sense?
It depends from the people actually. Like sometimes men, I don't know if it comes to all Balkan men, like I need to do this. Even if he's not gonna do it right, they're like, I need to do this.
The ego talk.
Go away, don't like leave me. Yeah. So we have to give up in this case. I think sometimes I did that.
But also, like, please know that whatever we are saying is like generalization. Like,
Yeah,
it's
of
not,
course.
we are generalizing on the stereotypes. It's always case by case, and every person can be completely different in the same country, even in the same city, even in the same house. Okay, so.
I feel like my boyfriend is cheating on me. Interesting. Do you think that could be an internal insecurity, maybe from something that happened in your childhood? I did have a pretty rough childhood. You should work on that, yeah. Thank you, doctor. Vera, my boyfriend is cheating on me. I can feel it. You are right, he is. Yeah, I knew it. It's a brunette. Ah, brunette, huh? I'm going to kill them both. Wait. Don't do it. You would get caught.
Oh my God, yes, this is 100%. Yeah, this is so accurate.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like coffee readings.
Coffee reading.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say coffee readings, but not really tarot for me.
We do tarot, or we look also at like astrology too. Like,
I was gonna say that. Oh my God, this is so big.
My mom is like, when she first meet like my boyfriend, she would read him like 1 hour for his own zodiac sign.
When were you born? What time were you born?
What time are you born? Literally. And coffee readings in Greece, because traditional Greek coffee is like this kind of cup. So when you turn it around, there's like a specific way you can read and a lot of grandmas do that too.
Coffee grounds stick to the cup.
Yeah, and they create shape.
and then you can even like put your finger in it, and then it like.
To open the heart of the cup. Girl,
For the middle part.
it's so good.
This is so niche. I love it.
Do you do coffee readings in Russia?
No, I think we were influenced by like Ottoman side
Oh,
for
this
that.
is very
What I wanted to say is, I think when it comes to this video, it's again one of like a generalization between like the West, like for example how Americans are versus like, because this is not just Balkan. I feel like this is very Eastern European in general.
Eastern European, yeah.
Yeah, the women are very, I think, prideful and strong, and like we don't let other people step on us like that. So it's like, yeah, it's usually met with rage as well, you know, and like we need to do something about this.
Like rage is a common thing. I feel like yeah, as you see, we have the common thing of like she will take revenge on that man, you know. But the American counterpart, she would kind of like collect and like she would kind of like project it on herself, even though it's completely not herself. So I feel like this kind of like self-deprecating thing, we don't have that in the Balkans.
Does it represent Russia of some?
Yeah, I mean, we use tarot, I can say. Many girls do that, but we also go therapy.
Yeah. Common in Romania, what you saw?
I would say that I didn't really do those kind of things, especially lately, but I know my friends, they would totally do that. But I remember when I was young, I would also sometimes even like search on YouTube these kind of tarot videos and everything, and all those kind of stuff. Yeah, it was, I feel like, much more common before than now. Now, I think maybe the therapy was more like normalized, but still, it's something, yeah, like also Romanian people would do, especially in such cases. Like if you just heard something, oh my God, you have to like know right in that moment. We're maybe like more impulsive and we really want to know what happened, and we might be more like with revenge and everything.
Today we watch videos about Balkan women and react to them.
If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below.
See you next time.
Bye!
Oh my God.
Ladies, gentlemen, and raiders of all ages, as you continue your journey in Ark Raiders, the two big main things you're generally going to be trying to progress are either your quests or progress on your workshop, with the goals of just making yourself stronger in general, or just giving yourself more paths to power through the ability to craft higher level blueprints, and in the case of our little rooster friend, just larger bundles of passive materials being gathered while you play the game normally. Today I want to focus in on the workshop side of things, and we're going to essentially break down efficient routes that you can do to get the required upgrade materials for each rank of each workshop station, one at a time, and then we'll also talk a bit about blueprints, where to find them, and we'll have a route for farming those as well, because blueprints are of course a large part of the reason to even push for higher level workshop stations. First things first then, let's break down how we're going to do this. Outside of Scrappy the Rooster, every other workstation needs to be crafted to begin with basic parts, and I'm going to assume that you've already done that, or at least understand how to, because it's basic parts. For the non-scrappy workshops, each one then requires one art part and 2 supplementary materials for the upgrade to level 2, and then another round of the same thing for level 3. Each workshop's required materials are different, and so there are a total of like 40 different items that you will need in various quantities to fully maximize out your workshop. These materials can all be broken down into specific categories, and we'll be talking about each category as a grouping because all items of the same type can generally be found in the exact same locations with some very few exceptions, which is why I'll be showing you routes that specifically don't have those exceptions. So rather than going through this station by station, we're going to go through this each type of item at a time. I'll show you a safe, consistent route for getting all of them. I'll tell you which specific materials you're after, the amount you need, and then also any tricks that are a little bit less straightforward. Before we get into specifics, then some quick general tips that will just make your experience better for every one of these things. Essentially, looting tips. Doing this solo is best as possible, as that way you aren't sharing loot with other people, and in my experience, other players are generally way more willing to be friendly with you when you're playing solo than they are when you're in a group. They're willing to cooperate and just sort of not shoot each other, which, on that note, be friendly with other players. If you don't want people to kill you, then you shouldn't try and kill other people. If you want to get your quests done, if you want to get your workshop progress done, be friendly because it gives you the highest chance of getting out with the stuff you want. Either use the in-game voice or even the emotes to show people that you're not going to be a threat, and I find like the last 99 out of 100 times that I've interacted with other players in solo raids, they have been friendly. They would either just ignore me or even try to be helpful. Someone even asked me if I needed anything, someone dropped me a gun. So if you are doing loot runs where you're just looking for loot that you care about, just try being a little bit more friendly and you might make it out a little bit easier. Outside of that, night raids have more loot than non-night raids, and specific events can be really useful for this too, such as Nature Bloom, making nature loot more plentiful, or specifically Husk Graveyard can get you free full-on Arc materials for the heftier Arc without having to defeat them yourself, stuff like that. Outside of that, always bring 5 adrenaline shots with you if possible. They are cheap to craft, and you can just chain use them when you run out of stamina, and you can cross the entire map super quickly, which is especially useful if you spawn far away from your desired loot location. You can still get there very early and fast with this. If you start at the spawn of a raid timer, which is 30 minutes, then the faster you get to the location, the better, because it's fully fresh and unlooted. If you load in mid-raid, chances are that some of the loot will be gone, so it's better to slow play it a little bit, get there safely, and grab what you can. Generally, you want to avoid doing these runs with free loadouts because you want the safe pouch from the upgraded augments, and so if you are doing these runs, always stick the item you want to keep in your safe pouch. The higher level looting augments also will give you more safe pouch slots, and the more slots you have, the more things you can keep even if you do die. But you do need to weigh that with the fact that you're not planning to be doing PvP right now. When looking for specific loot, you will be making pathing choices that are a little bit dangerous just by the nature of what we're doing, which means that you could die while doing this. And so outside of a little bit of extra loot space from an augment, I recommend generally just bringing the minimal amount of stuff you need to get by. Your adrenaline shots, some bandages, shield recharges, a weapon, and some ammo pretty much. When actually on the raid then, once you have a few of the items you need to weigh the balance of greed, basically. Would you be more upset if someone turned the corner and blasted you in the face right now and you lost everything? Or if you left and got out safely knowing that you might have been able to get a little bit more? Generally, I lean towards the former, so I like to get out with what I've got, but there is a balance to it, and only you can know your level of risk tolerance. That said, with all that done now, let's go over specific items, and first up, let's start with the refinable and tradable ones. For a number of the items required on this list, you can just craft them for basic materials, or buy them in exchange for seeds from Celeste, the trader. To be specific, you need 5 mechanical components for Gunsmith level 2, and 5 advanced mechanical components for Gunsmith level 3, both of which can be crafted at the refiner. You need 5 electrical components for Gearbench level 2, and another 5 electrical components for Utility Station level 2. Then you need 5 advanced electrical components for Gearbench level 3, and another 5 of those as well for Utility Station level 3. You need 5 durable cloth for Medical Lab level 2, and 8 antiseptic for Medical Lab level 3. You need 5 crude explosives for Explosive Bench level 2, and 5 explosive compounds for Explosive Bench level 3. Technically speaking, you can also make a couple of other relevant things here, but they require Refiner level 3 and are also used to upgrade the Refiner to level 3, so that doesn't actually help us at all. But point being, while you can find all of these materials in raids, your life becomes a lot easier if you just get Refiner upgraded first and then just refine up from basic materials. As for seeds, you can get any basic material for seeds to refine with, and also the synthesized fuel item here, you need 3 of this for Explosives Bench level 2, and these are quite rare to find, which means that using seeds for them is actually a very solid deal. Next up then we have residential loot. The specific relevant things from this pool are 1 dog collar for Scrappy level 2, 1 cat bed for Scrappy level 4, and 3 very comfortable pillows for Scrappy level 5. Then there's also 3 power cables that you need for Gearbench level 2, and 3 toasters that you need for Refiner level 2. The power cables can also be found in the electrical loot pool, just so you're aware, but this does double up with a bunch of other items too, doing it residentially, so it's better this way. For residential loot runs, then, an extremely underrated spot is on the Buried City map, and this cluster of buildings down here specifically. The red tower over here is a small little residence building with multiple floors of very valuable loot. The Santa Maria houses is just a ton of residential loot again, basically a half-buried apartment complex. Then the Plaza Rosa itself usually doesn't actually have many people in it, despite being a yellow loot zone. And while it says it is medical and commercial loot inside, it does also have lots of residential loot spawns inside too. And to be specific, the commercial part of this is an overlap that makes it a higher likelihood to find the very comfortable pillows and the cat beds in this zone compared to the other buildings that we mentioned here. The best part is, when you are done looting, the subway entrance is literally right here. It's in the middle of here. You just walk up into here, get into the hole, and then get on the subway and get out. After that, let's talk about mechanical and industrial loot together. For workshop upgrades, the items in the mechanical loot pool are 3 rusted tools, which are required for gunsmith level 2, and then 3 motors, which are required for refiner level 3. In the industrial pool, it's 3 rusted gears for gunsmith level 3, and then 3 industrial batteries for gearbench level 3. The reason that we are doing these two together is because they just sort of work together. There's a spot that's really good for both of them. This time we're going to be going to Bluegate as our map, and we're going to be looking for the warehouse complex specifically, but where we're actually going is underneath this in the underground section of the map. Specifically, if you enter from this spot right here, which I'll be showing you in game now, this is the outer gate location on your map. If you enter the doorway on the eastern side here, there is a tunnel with a tons of cars and breachable little boxes. You can breach the cars for loads of chances at the mechanical loot, and the lockers and especially the breachable boxes are where you will find a lot of the industrial stuff. And sometimes the mechanical stuff can show up in those boxes too. Basically, just go through the whole section of the underground that is under the warehouse complex, and once you have enough that you're satisfied, your ideal close exit point is actually the warehouse air shaft itself, which is directly northeast of the warehouse complex, so just get to surface level and it's a very quick extract. Next up, we've got medical loot, and this one is sort of a cracked farm route, but the actual items in this category are 2 cracked bioscanners, which you need for medical lab level 2, 3 rusted shut medical kits, which you need for medical lab level 3, and then 3 laboratory reagents, which you need for explosives bench level 2. The specific loot spot for this is going to be on the Buried City map, and it is in the hospital building. This is a red loot zone, and it is pretty much the only red loot zone that we'll be talking about today, but despite this, the vast majority of people seem to just immediately go to the upper floors of this building and loot those, which means the actual main floor, the first floor, the ground floor, is usually quite uncontested for looting in my experience. And being a hospital, pretty much every container counts as med loot except for some tech spots that are in the building too. There's a lot of containers due to the sheer size of the building as well, and you can brave the upper floors if you dare to, but the safe way of doing this is just sucking up the loot on the ground floor, and then extract for this one is very, very easy. We're going to be going to the northern subway station here, and one of the entrances for the northern subway station is literally inside of the hospital itself. On the north side of the building, you can find the stairs leading down, and then straight to the extract itself. Very nice, very simple. For technological parts, the ones that you'll need for the workshop upgrades are 2 damaged heat sinks for utility station level 2, and then 3 fried motherboards for utility station level 3. As for the route, it's worth noting here there are tech areas in the hospital we just talked about for the med loot route, so you can double up a little bit with that if you want to, but there is a special spot that works really well for both of the workshop upgrade tech items. On the Dam Battlegrounds map, if you literally do max zoom in on the map, right where the L is on water treatment control as the label, there is a small building right here. Inside of this building, there is a large amount of breachable search spots, and inside of these, every single one is tech loot. On the run, in the footage here, there were like 8 lockers, and between them I got 4 fried motherboards and 1 damaged heatsink in one go. It took me like 3 minutes for the run, and then the water treatment elevator itself is the extract right here, just a quick hop over from this building. So depending on spawn location, you can usually do this whole run in like 5 minutes flat with most of what you need for those upgrades really quickly. Next up then, let's talk nature loot, and this one does get a bit more complex than the others because of how it works. Each different piece of nature loot spawns in a slightly different way for the most part. That said, the nature loot that you need for upgrades is 3 lemons and 3 apricots for scrappy level 2, then another 3 apricots for scrappy level 5, 6 prickly pears and 6 olives for scrappy level 4, and then 12 mushrooms also for scrappy level 5. For lemons, apricots, and olives, the best spot that I found is on the Bluegate map, the olive grove down here in the
Special edition zove.
Ko je taj neki zeban tip?
Lele, lepo mu jebem. Što za jebem.
A gde žuri?
Ovdje super tortica.
Kako se zoveš? Super torbica?
Da, super čorbica.
A.
Jer da čorbe nije bilo, ni vas ne bi bilo.
General Gardi i Kumare. Dvojica psihopata. Ne znam ko je luđi.
Što?
Pa ono, čim čuje pucanj, trči tamo, razumeš, da se krlje.
Šta će luđi stvorenje?
Ali nemaš ništa od toga. To što ti drugi ljudi, ako ih kokneš, nose, to je mizerno. Korisnije ti je da ideš okolo i da skupljaš materijal za unapređivanje baze. Jer kad unaprediš bazu, onda možeš sve da praviš i sve da, umjesto da plaćaš kreditima u igri, možeš za one crafting materijale da napraviš i oklop i pušku i sve. I onda ako hoćeš da ideš PvP, onda uđeš PvP.
I oni ne žele to, vidiš.
Znam, oni žele da...
Da se pucaju.
Da se pucaju. Bez mene, rekao sam. Već 100 puta. Šta hoću prvo da napredim? Utilities.
Ja sam bio super ptičica.
Šta ti to?
Malo se pentram na merdevine, da glumim električara i tako da. Znači, šta ti je to? To mu dođe real life.
Super ptica, a?
Da izmenim neki reflektor na senzor pokreta. Nego nešto nisam uspeo da doteram na usredni senzor pokreta.
Inside of this building, there is a large amount of breachable search spots, and inside of the...
Pa non stop gorio ono dobro.
A čekaj, ti si održavanje tamo ili koji đava?
Ne. Čisto dobra volja.
A. Dobro. To je lepo.
Mada nisam nešto mnogo preterano
dobro volje.
zaslužili.
Da.
Ali da, ajde, neki.
Give me your tears, gypsy. Dobro.
Ko će ti godište baš?
Ja sam ti... Nesretnik sam od malena. Ne, šala. 83. sam godište.
83.
I jeste. Što?
Šta radiš u životu sa nekim?
Prijatelja.
Ja se izvinjavam.
Da, ništa, pitanje je malo vulgarno, ali odgovorit ću. Pravim lebac za ljude, znaš, ja sam pekar.
Mislim da imaš pekaru ili rad?
Za pare. Ne radim ono dobrovoljno, znaš. Ja bi bio zadovoljan sa nekih 300-500 € mjesečnog prihoda da radim random bilo šta. Možda ne bih baš bilo šta, ali većinu stvari.
Pa dobro, ja verujem da imaš sigurno pa toliko su ti nije.
Pa blizu 100.000, to je istina. Ništa fancy, ali ono okej.
Jedino ne znam, verovatno ti malo nezgodno to, staješ u 3-4 ulicu da bi...
Ne, u smenama se radi. Radi se 3 smene po 8 sati. Da ti ovako konkretno kažem, radim u industriji tortilje. Mislim, pekarski jeste posao, samo ono...
Fabrika.
Da, fabrika, znači to ti je roba koja traje duže nego ovo. Leti se brže troši i brže mu ističe rok. Tortilje po par mjeseci možeš da... Tika taka, šta se očuje? A, evo ga.
Žena, djecu, nešto.
Ne. Nije mi to neki cilj, to je više zanimljivi side quest. Djeca su mi ono, okej, ali... Radi djece, morao bi da se spanđam sa ženama, a sa ženama apsolutno odbijam, nisam gej, jednostavno su današnje žene razmažene, to je to.
Dobro, to jest.
To je to. I odbijam da povlađujem detinjastim osobama. Uje.
U današnje vreme žene očekuju da imaš €1.000.000 i da ih čašćavaš svim i svačim i da one ništa ne rade ako bi moglo tako. I eventualno da nađu nekog od 25 centima čisto da imaju za zabavu.
Da osjeti vatru među nogama, da budem vulgaran.
To.
A ja sam to onako seljački rekao ko što ja imam obično.
Nije to seljačko, to je živa istina.
Gede, mali robotski marš.
Kažem, pošteno, sad kad mi pričaš te igrice za skupljanje i te zajebancije, znaš šta mi se bre igra? I što mi je bilo onako jako zanimljiva igra, samo ne mi volao da igram to sam. Pioneer.exe. Baš je fancy igrica.
Slažem se da nije baš da čovjek igra sam.
Pa nije dosta, mislim ono smori. Ali dobra stvar, skupiš živuljke, imaš svoje tralove, petove, gluposti. I kad buđiš kako tebi odgovaraš kako vole. To mi je baš ono cool.
Medium shield. vreme da se čistimo odavde.
Let's head home at the North Complex elevator.
200 metara za 90 sekundi. Mogu da probam, ali ne verujem da ću uspeti.
Đurđo.
Pretpostavljam da uvijek ima ista količina ljudi koji igraju taj DayZ.
Pa, ne znam sad baš.
Svaki dan. Da li nekad ima više, nekad manje ljudi? Da, ima. Uvijek ima između 20.000 igrača i 50. Svaki dan.
Da. Ali zavisi od servera do servera, znaš, to ti verovatno za sve.
Da, sve, global. Sad sam proverio. Zanimalo me da li su arcaderi, ne, ljudi koji igraju taj... Da, oni, to im je kao glavna igra i to. Druge igre ih ne zanimaju, vjerojatno, o tome se radi.
Pa, da ti kažem, pošto...
Welcome.
Ma, prodaj, jebimo mater.
Don't stall. You'll thank me later. If you find any weapons just laying around, I'm always on the lookout.
Prigušivač nema. Majke,
Got something for me?
PUBG isto nije loša igrica, onako zanimljiva za pucačinu, onako da odmaraš mozak i da te boli kurac, da ćeš skupiš stvari ili ne. To je nekako isto okej igra.
PUBG.
Da.
Ali PUBG svaki meč je za sebe, to što u meču PUBG-a skupiš...
Nije, da. Dobro. Kažeš svaki meč za sebe u kom...
Nemaš generalno nikakav progres.
Dobro, da.
Meč ko meč, a isto kao Dota.
Kao Counter Strike.
Ma da, onda da, ali onda igraš Counter Strike. Bez da lutaš po mapi pola sata.
Pa nemaš ti tu toliko lutanja, verujem. Niko tu ne ide da luta toliko, zato što imaš jednu zonu, mora da potrudiš, nema mnogo...
Da, to ti je speedrun lutovanje. Moj omljeni zanat.
Uzeo si puškicu, ideš dalje i to je to.
Nije za mene. Ne volim da lutam, da bih imao adrenalin, ne znam, 20 sekundi dok me neko ne skemba. Onda neću ni da lutam, onda igram CS, znaš. Nema prigušivača, evo sad sam gledao oružje, da li imam jedno oružje da ima prigušivača? Kad sam igrao sa onim mojim kumom, imao sam jedan dobar silencer za oružje, naravno moj kum je morao da bude super bučan i agresivan i popušio sam kurac. Sad i doću, ne mogu da ga nađem.
Ali imaš crafting sistem, pa da craftaš to.
Imaš, ali trenutno nemaš. Evo ti objasnim. Na početku dosta stvari ti je ono kao wow kad nađeš, kasnije. Da, kasnije nalaziš te, imaš 30 na primjer tih crafting recepata. Tih recimo jako retkih stvari koje se ono lutaju ili kupuju. Ne možeš sam da ih napraviš, ali moraš naći papir. Moraš ga iznet napolje.
Samo mi žao šteta što su tu izbacili iz DayZ majmuni. Izbacili kao fazon, ali to su te servere je na vreme bilo da možeš da praviš kao bunker. No offensive. Neke šumice, šta god već napraviš ti bunker što je baš.
Ne znam koliko ti je dobar zvuk u ovoj PUBG, recimo DayZ-u. Koliko možeš jasno da čuješ čovjeka koji nailazi.
I na jedno i na drugo se čuje lepo.
Mislim, recimo ti da hodaš normalno, nekom srednjom brzinom, a neko da pun sprint ide oko tebe. I možeš pravo da odrediš išto ono direkcijno. Okej.
Neko šunja, a onda je to malo teže.
Pa to i jeste ta igra, ono kao, da li hoćeš ideš brzo i glasno ili polako i...
Da, čuje se čak sve više kad jedeš i kad menjaš šanžer ili nešto tako, znači da se to čuje, da si tu blizu igrača.
Kumar, evo ga još jedan iz šanžer tabora, Francuzi sve. Ništa, nije do tebe. Nego s mojim kumom imam debatu da li se Da li je ispravno magazin, okvir ili šaržer. A ja sam rekao, ovo nije Francuska, druže. Ne, znamo svi na što se misli, ali ovo nije čak bilo ni smereno na tebe, nego na njega, znaš. Naravno što...
Više ne znam da sam to nešto kao čuo, nisam siguran sam sad to 100%. Zašto šaržer se kaže za pištolj, a okvir za pušku.
Možda si upravo, možda ima ta finesa.
Ili je obrnuto, ali mislim da je ovako, nisam siguran.
Ja sam ušao na kraj, najbolje bi bilo da... Ovo je loše. Mislim, hvala ti za podatak, ja sam znao.
Nego meni te polakše, to sam naučio, ja si onda zovem šaržer i za puški.
Je, ali ja nagađam, ti si bio u vojsci, ali?
Nisam.
Nisi? Nisu vas... Nisi imao ambicije da ideš uopšte?
Ja mislim da je od 88. godište svi učili vojsku i onda veći deo ti 88. do 89. nisam išao. To je teo, mislim, baš mnogo. A ja, kako da ti objasnim, imam malo problem sa tim stavkama u smislu hijerarhije i u fazonu da
ne postojiš autoritet.
Sljebuje mangup autoritet i ludilo da mi to glumi, jer u fazonu mi dođe onda da mu ja objasnim koje je moje ludilo u glavi. A to je što mi je dobro zgrado. Ja i na poslu bilo je raznih situacija, pa kad su shvatili neke stvari, onda vidiš kako je bilo malo rikverc, popat, supa. I sve dok je u fazonu drugarska osnova, sve je super. Čim polazi da bude mangupiranje ludilo, onda ja preuzimim stvari svoje.
Head home at the North Complex elevator.
Ne vredi ovo, previše malo vremena. Žaba sve skupnja kad neću moći izađem. Maksimalno vreme meča je 30 minuta. Ako uđeš odmah. Ako te ubaci na pola meča na 15-20 minuta, onda nemaš tačku izlaza uopšte, smatram.
Čekaj, ti kao uđeš u meč, da bi ušao u mapu kao. I onda imaš vreme za koliko uđeš u mapu.
Tačno.
I čekaj, onda u fazonu si kao neki lobby i tu kao možeš pratiti.
Mislim, ne biraš ti koji ćeš lobijem. Ti si samo uradio queue kao, hoću da igram meč. I onda ti on kao gleda koliko ima igrača da je tamo ovamo. I ubacite razumeš.
Pa ubaci, da.
Pa da, ako imaš sreće, uđeš odmah, ako nemaš sreće. Bolje da ponesemo malo metaka. Tik tak čujem kutiju pored mene. Je blago, babi. je to. Ove granate rade zabavno. Baciš ona i spali, ona se rasprsne u par malih projektila i ono homing urade na neprijatelja. Ne, to mi je bio zadatak da ispalim 2 bombe. E sad, ispali bombu na drona koji leti. To mi je bilo malo retardirano u startu.
Let's head home at the central swamp lift.
Hey, don't shoot!
Wait, do you need a bandage? Wait, dude. Let me heal you. Wait. Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot you. Wait.
Want to team up?
It's fine, wait. Recharge.
An arc orbiter is en route. The safe window is closing. 10 minutes to get out of there. I repeat, 10 minutes.
Want to team up?
Yeah, sure. Where do we exit? Brale, ovaj je bio u solidno lošem stanju. No, I'm not gonna shoot people in the back. Not my style.
Ja danas odmaram. To znači da ću danas sutra gledati.
Still there?
Don't shoot! Hey, hello! Hello? Hey, don't shoot! Hey, don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Yo, hello, man.
Don't shoot!
This is kinda awkward. I got into like... solo, trust me, no. I met this guy, he was barely alive. Like, it was hilarious. Somebody nailed him.
Don't shoot! Hello? Appreciate it.
Another one?
Don't shoot!
Everybody in, please.
Thank you! Thank you.
Yeah, GG. Random druga solo igrač. Znači svako tim za sebe, ali ono, pošto je malo zeznuto izaći kad su ti roboti iznad glave i nemaš vremena, najbolja ti je opcija da diplomatijom probaš. Diplomatija radi. Zavisi od igre do igre, zato što nemaš nikakvu pretnju nemaš, jel tako? Većina igara koje ti igraš, A i E ne postoji kao pretnja, jel tako?
Need a distraction? We've had to build our topside infrastructure
Zombie,
in stages.
jel to?
Our engineers keep being chased off by one danger or another. Did you do the thing? New grenade design stood the test, huh? Thanks. Really appreciate it.
I've been pestering Tianwen for a while now, trying to get her to help out around here. Her customer service is questionable, but she's a wizard with a wrench.
Gdje mi je electrical...
Mislim, nije to sad smak sveta, zombi i to, opet možda ti da se izvučeš, naravno, ali... Velike šanse da se izvučeš.
Ako preživi, što kaže.
Da.
Da, ali kako ja vidim zombi ne pucaju, jel da?
Pa ne, ja brate, ali znaš je fora, ti da postavili sad jedan metak, oni se igrati pucaju nego kratko, nekom brzinom sve, gore komada i napadaju. I sad dok ti strebiš, oko vode, oko ono, to malo prođe vreme i tako na jedno.
Dual Crow. Welcome to my channel.
Destroy any arc enemy using fireball burner. Molim. Ja. Fireball burner. Te ja to da nađem, leti poljubi.
These, every single one is tech loot. On the run in the footage here, there were like 8 lockers, and between them I got 4
What's up guys, Smith here, just a quick guide for you today in Ark Fireburner. Obviously there's a many different ways to do this. I found the easiest way is to find one of the little skitters, one of the little crawly spider ones. Spawns aren't exactly fixed, but they're quite common in some places. So this one, I've found one almost here every single time. Just around these lower levels somewhere, sort of hanging on the ceiling, so you'll be able to see just around this corner here. So there's one there. And then all you've got to do is kill it with the fire burner. Now I'm recommending this method because the fire burner is a damage over time. It just throws a bit of fire on the floor. It's like a really crap fire grenade, and it has to have very low HP. If you try and do it on the rollers, they will roll out of the fire long before it kills them. So that's what I recommend you do. The fire burners themselves, they're items you get off the little rolling ones that explode into fire and pepper you with fire. So again, you can find those here as well. So this is a really good spot to do it on the first map, right down here in the sort of southeast corner. Head to this location again. They
Likely repetition of XFTP. Welcome to my channel. Best viewers streambu org remove the space rosf.
Dobro. Kakav dobar kompenzator za ovo. To me zanima.
Out of ammo again? Figures.
Adjusted to the dark yet, Raider? Loot is ripe for the picking while most of Toledo is asleep, though my suppliers say that Ark is twice as vigilant after sunset.
Go to research and administration.
700 metara, ali ja stići tamo uopšte.
Don't shoot! Hey, don't shoot!
Yeah, I heard you. Good luck there. Yeah. Good luck there. Don't die. Ja, neko izlazi. Vidim.
Don't shoot!
Yeah, good luck, man. Rocketeer turning around.
By that building.
have 10 minutes to return to Speranza. I repeat, 10 minutes.
Up there. Spotted a wasp. Up there.
Raiders. We have Ark on screen. 5 minutes left. Go find a way home. I repeat, 5 minutes.
Kizik. Welcome to my channel.
Ma si kjeka, šta ima? Previše malo ima izlaza i... Stani malo.
Evo Napoza.
Kako si, evo...
Glidam tal radi.
Kako se skupljam? Pičku materinu.
Posal semo igrati.
Hoće to nama da bocka, a?
Don't shoot!
Yeah, wait. Yeah. Oh, watch your six, watch your six. Thanks. I've been hearing you clanking around, but I didn't want to shoot, so I'm glad.
UVJCT Takvi. Znaju the napad new.
Timovi od 3 čovjeka, da. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Hey, don't shoot!
Don't shoot!
Don't shoot!
Team of 2 solos, don't shoot.
Appreciate it. Don't shoot!
2 minutes left. Last chance to get out safely. I repeat,
Don't
2
shoot.
minutes.
Yo, come up. We're not gonna shoot you. We are solos.
No. Don't shoot!
Yeah, nobody's gonna shoot. Yeah, sure. Everybody in. Is there anything good from it? Anybody has a rusted gears? I can give you anything for it. Rusted gear. Light gun parts. Anybody?
Yes.
I'm good. Thank you.
Hey, don't shoot!
It's alright.
So we're gonna wait for everybody. Like, oh, there is more people. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, there is one person outside. Yeah, it's okay. Quickly, go! GG. Good job. Rekao sam ti, Kesiću, ovo ti je, kad igraš sa soloima, neće niko tu biti zato što previše imaš neprijatelja. A i ja ima previše. Momak ovdje s kanalom. Da. Ja, treba mi još zupčanik. A ne vidi se noći u kurac i sve je zatvoreno. Oh my god, pogledaj koliko smeća imam. Joj. Moram nešto da prodam. Kabole. Akumulatore. Prodaje. Sve. Smeće. Gomila smeće.
Sve ti jebem nevoljno malecku.
Čuo što nemam prostora kad mi igra volje non stop bombe u inventaru. Mako, lutam. Mjesto kako hoćeš. Technological.
There are tech areas and a spot that works really well. They do max zoom in on them.
Mislim ja za ulicu. Upiše neki zet.
Šta to?
Ha?
Zašto nisi za?
Za Daisy.
Što?
Bio me na najduplji mogući. Ili iskuliramo. Pa se čujem.
Dalje. Eto. Mogu li jednom da startam od početka? Fala. Mogu.
Neće ovaj doći sutra.
Ma dobro, u redu, bit ću ja tu sutra.
A nek to mu je žena, valjda da.
Dobro, nema veze, sutra ćemo.
Got a wasp overhead.
Tackling.
Don't shoot!
Welcome to my channel.
Tert. Ah. Wow. Weird.
Don't shoot!
Yeah, sure.
Sorry. Hey, don't shoot!
Yeah, hello.
Hey, Raider.
Do you need something? I can drop you like... Wait. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot you with my back then. Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool, random fine, yeah. Good luck, don't die. There is barely anything left, but have fun with XP. Do you have any light ammo maybe?
Hey, don't shoot!
Wait, there's a third guy. Hello, man, hello. Yeah, hello.
Hey, don't shoot!
Yeah. A lot of solos around. Anybody has rusted gears, guys? Anybody? No? Hey man, I got a water treatment surveillance key. If you wanna play risky, we can open that.
Hey, I'm sorry. Don't shoot!
Wait, dude, stop. There is two of us solos. Don't shoot. Don't be an idiot. Wait. Don't shoot.
Hey, don't shoot!
Yeah, wait. Wait up. Oh, wait. Wait, where is that guy? What the fuck? They're upstairs. What are they doing? Must be a streamer. Oh look, corpses. Yeah, dude, close the door and I can cover you if you wanna loot them. It's fine. I got your back, man, don't worry. Yeah, close everything, almost. You got one more guy here. You got rusted tools inside the containers, you know, lockers. Light shield, bandages, pistol. Oh, fully loaded. Great. A lot of nonsense. Shot. Yeah, it's fine.
Thanks.
Can you like follow me? I wanna check something out, man. If you wanna exit here, I can cover your exit and, you know, leave later. It's fine with me.
Got a wasp overhead.
Oh, I'm gonna stay, you know. Good luck out there. Good luck with your next match. Get in, get in. Yeah, good luck, man. Good luck, man. See you next time, man. Take care.
Thanks.
The water facility.
Don't shoot!
I see. This is what it is.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
No.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
How did you even survive this? Yeah, good luck, man, good luck. Whoa, look, dead people inside. Damn it. There's a dead body. GG, man, GG. Znaju svi da napadnu. Komedija, imam bolje loot od ovoga što sam dobio kao nagradu. Oh. Key recipe. Advanced electrical components, 3 sensors. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Advanced electrical components. Kako to izgleda? Meh. bud zašto prde. Snip scanner. Medical. Aha. Advanced mechanical. Advanced mechanical. Advanced mechanical. Pam 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 pam. Dobro. I senzori.
Hey. You'll like this.
That's fine. Tu selo mi.
It may be just what we need to get her to pull her weight.
Let's go to the power generation complex. Wasp up there. Let's move to that location. A snitch.
Don't shoot!
If possible, I want this snitch scanner, thanks. If there is no issue. I think it's you, buddy, among those trees, yeah. Stop hiding.
Don't shoot!
Yeah, all good. So, this is a snitch. Do you need something from it? No? What is this? Oh. I see.
Don't shoot!
Yeah, I'll be good. Okay, no problem. Good for you. Znači mogu sam napucati samo njega. Znači nevjerovatno. Fuck you. Advanced electrical. Ne mechanical. Advanced electrical. Mechanical. 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 Imam ih. A gde su? Koji kurac? Ne bi se ne zabao s ovim da... A evo ga. Evo ga. Danas electrical jedan. To... Okay. Quit. Good enough. Помази го.
Welcome back to the channel, buddy, and I hope October 22nd to rotate to compensate stats. So random, this is where we get the intimidate. So the 3, this is the band. Banger week, that was just simply bad.
Tekno je vrh 5, dobro.
So, let's talk about Oblivion Remastered, because honestly this might be one of the most dramatic hype to disappointment stories Bethesda's had in years. When Oblivion Remastered dropped earlier this year, it kind of came out of nowhere. No teaser, no countdown, no months of marketing build-up. It was just a sudden shadow drop. Bethesda hit publish, and the internet exploded. And it worked for a few days. It was everywhere. Social feeds, Reddit threads, YouTube channels, they were all flooded with people praising Bethesda for finally doing something right. It really looked like a win for a short time. Oblivion Remastered topped the Steam charts, clocked over 200,000 concurrent players, and it had people calling it a masterstroke of nostalgia marketing. But 6 months later, the reality couldn't be more different. The Steam rating, it's now sitting at mixed. Player numbers down by more than 90%. and the community that was once thrilled to be back at Citadel has slowly grown bitter and frustrated. So today I want to break down what went wrong, how Oblivion Remastered shot up so fast, why it crashed so hard, and whether Bethesda can't actually turn things around. Let's rewind to the launch in April. For a lot of players, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion was the first open-world RPG that felt truly alive. It came out in 2006, right as modern gaming was hitting its stride, and it left a mark that's still felt today. Everyone remembers that moment. Stepping out of the sewers, the music swelling, the horizon stretching out in front of you. And for many, that single moment defined what open world really meant. So when Bethesda surprise dropped the remaster in 2025, nostalgia hit like a tidal wave. Fans who grew up with the original rushed back to relive it, while younger players saw it as a chance to finally experience a classic with modern visuals and smoother performance. And at first, things looked great. It was sitting near the top of Steam's most played charts. Critics called it a love letter to Elder Scrolls fans, and everyone assumed Bethesda had finally cracked the code, releasing something simple, clean, and nostalgic to keep the hype alive before The Elder Scrolls 6. But, as we've seen before, what starts with excitement can often fall apart fast. The decline happened quicker than anyone expected. Within 2 months, the player count had fallen from 200,000 to around 10,000. And by October 2025, barely 1,000 players. Now, of course, it's a single-player RPG. Every game sees a drop-off after launch. Sure, but this wasn't that. This wasn't a normal fade-out. This was a mass exodus. Some fans tried to rationalize it. Well, Oblivion's story is shorter than Skyrim's, or people just finished it. But that doesn't really hold up. Elder Scrolls games are built on replayability, on guilds, side quests, exploration, and perhaps most importantly, mods. For comparison, Skyrim still pulls tens of thousands of daily players 14 years after release. Why? Because of freedom and mod support. Oblivion Remastered didn't have that, and players noticed. Performance has been one of the biggest pain points. Even players with high-end setups reported heavy stutters, frame drops, and painfully long loading screens. Cities like the Imperial City and Churl became lag traps, and weirdly enough, some fans claim the game actually ran better at launch than it does now. That's not supposed to happen. Remasters are meant to fix the past, not repeat it. The patches released after launch seem to introduce new problems instead of fixing the old ones. Broken textures, audio glitches, NPCs randomly vanishing, or physics bugs that make enemies levitate mid-fight. And while we all accept a bit of Bethesda jank, that's part of the charm, the sheer amount of instability here makes it hard to enjoy. When bugs stop being funny and start breaking quests, that's when players walk away. It's hard to call it a remaster when basic stability still feels like a coin flip. The silence that killed the momentum. You'd think after that kind of feedback, Bethesda would kick into gear with fixes and updates, but that's where things fell apart, even more. There were 2 early patches, one in June and another
MLWK.
but after that,
Welcome to my channel.
no conferences, no dev lists explaining what's next. Just silence. That lack of communication is brutal for any live game community, even for a single-player one. Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky both recovered from disastrous launches through relentless updates and clear transparency. Players will forgive a rough start if the developer shows they care. Bethesda didn't. Once the hype died, it genuinely felt like they just walked away. Fans who expected months of active support got radio silence, and the energy around the game evaporated. When a studio stops talking, the community stops caring. Now let's talk about the real killer, mod support. Mods are the soul of Elder Scrolls. Without modders, Skyrim wouldn't still be topping Steam charts over a decade later. Players have built entire expansions, rewritten dialogue, improved visuals, and basically rebuilt the game themselves. The same was true for Oblivion back in the day. The modding scene was incredible. new spells, new companions, wild quest lines, even completely new worlds. But in Oblivion Remastered, modding is a mess. The game's structure makes it nearly impossible to port older mods, and there's no official toolkit or dedicated mod hub. That instantly killed one of the main reasons people play Bethesda games long term. Without mods, once you've finished the main quest and joined a few guilds, there's not much left to do. The remaster doesn't have enough new content to justify replaying it again and again, and without the creative energy of the community, it feels strangely empty. For a studio whose games live through modding, cutting off that pipeline is like removing the heart that kept the series beating. At its core, Oblivion Remastered still has the same world, the same charm, and the same magic moments that made it a classic. The soundtrack still hits, the quests are still brilliant, and the atmosphere still pulls you in. But the remaster part doesn't go far enough. The visuals are sharper, yes, but textures are inconsistent. Lighting looks great in some areas and outdated in others. Animation is still stiff, and some models look straight out of 2006. Combine that with poor optimization and a lack of new content, and you've got a product that feels caught between two eras, not old enough to be charming, not modern enough to feel fresh, and the result, fans walked away faster than anyone expected for a remaster of one of the most beloved RPGs ever made. That's just painful to watch. The bigger problem and what it says about Bethesda, the Oblivion Remastered situation doesn't just reflect on one game, it reflects on Bethesda's current direction as a studio. People are already asking, was this just a quick nostalgia grab? Did Bethesda underestimate what fans actually expected from a modern remaster? Because here's the truth. When you're remastering a game that defined an entire generation, expectations are sky high. Fans wanted the definitive version of a legend, not a prettier version with old problems intact. And the lack of long-term support raises another question. If Bethesda struggles to maintain a remaster, how confident can we be about Elder Scrolls 6? That's the elephant in the room. Players are watching closely, and confidence is shaky right now. Oblivion Remastered sits in an awkward limbo. The core game is still amazing. The quests, the characters, the world building, but the execution feels unfinished. Steam reviews hover around mixed. The community is small and frustrated. Modders have mostly moved on, and with Skyrim still thriving thanks to its endless mod library, players are wondering why Bethesda couldn't treat Oblivion the same way. The sad part is that the potential is still there. The foundation is strong, but without patches, updates, and proper support, it's just collecting dust. Fans wanted to celebrate a classic. Instead, they got a reminder of how far behind Bethesda's priorities seem to be. Final thoughts. Can it be saved? So, is it too late? Not necessarily. The beauty of a remaster is that it can be fixed. Bethesda could still win players back if they actually commit to doing so. That means proper optimization patches, full modding support, and transparent communication. The ingredients are there. The original Oblivion is still a masterpiece beneath the rough edges. If Bethesda polishes the tech and empowers the modding scene again, the game could absolutely find new life. But if they keep ignoring it, the remaster will quietly fade away, remembered not as a revival of a classic, but as a cautionary tale about missed potential. For now, it's a bittersweet story. A beautiful world trapped inside a broken frame.
Udri Bruce Lee.
This video is sponsored by War Thunder. The year is 2013. 2 years since Skyrim, 5 years since Bethesda's last Fallout, and we'd heard nothing. Fans are starved. Ravenous for anything at this point, they scramble for any scraps they could find. Voice actors' tweets, employee leaks, Bethesda staff sightings. They'd take anything. But on the 14th of November 2013, a website appears online, the survivor2299.com. On it, Fallout's Vault-Tec logo and a countdown to December 11th. That was just 4 days after the Game Awards, where Skyrim was announced 3 years ago. Fans dig through the online directory, and its publisher? ZeniMax Media. Still, some are skeptical, but then 3 days later, ZeniMax Media actually files the trademark for Fallout 4 in Europe. They'd also said nothing about the website. If it wasn't legit, surely they'd just come out and say so. This could only mean one thing. The next Fallout was
Welcome
here.
to my channel.
Bethesda hadn't abandoned us. They were finally throwing a bone to the little guy. And fan speculation goes wild. Then comes the Morse codes. Then the Caesar shift cryptography. Then the Visioneer ciphers. Fans are sat at home in their pants for hours deciphering them. They even find a working phone number on the website, which leads to more codes. Some of these codes reference an actual radio frequency in Massachusetts, which sounds like this. Bethesda's YouTube channel is even linked in the source code of the website. This was serious stuff. Bethesda had gone above and beyond with the viral marketing here. Every gaming outlet is talking about it, and there's even Facebook pages and YouTube channels with daily updates monitoring it. The subreddit watching the website's every move. The 6th of December 2013, almost 2 weeks of code cracking, fatigue is beginning to set in. But it's now just 1 day before the Game Awards, and 5 days before the countdown ends. The hype is tangible. And Todd and the boys hit us with this tweet. What? It's gotta be a joke. Some sort of sick joke. But then fans boot up the website, and my god. Gone was the timer, the Vault-Tec logo. All that was left? A rickroll hosted on a server somewhere in Poland. A dark day. 3 weeks of speculation and hype, countless videos on YouTube, and dozens of hours of people's lives spent cracking random ciphers and lining up rivers on Google Maps for absolutely nothing. Naturally, they're not pleased. The guy behind the website does an AMA on Reddit and is vilified by the community instantly. We hear nothing else about Fallout for a while, and Fallout fans return to the darkness. June the 2nd, 2015, another Fallout-themed countdown timer appears. We'd been burnt before. Totally. But turns out, this time, it's actually real. And on June the 3rd, it's nearing the end. And finally, after years of anticipation, Fallout 4's announcement trailer is actually upon us. June the 14th. It's E3, and Bethesda Game Studios is holding their first full press conference. Todd strolls out on stage again, confidence radiating. He's met with thunderous applause. Again, the claims are bold.
All of this just works. And again, it just works.
Hold on. Is that the release date? That's just 5 months away. But first, look to the sky. It's thundering. War Thunder is one of the most combat games ever created. Animations, over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships. From some of the most technologically advanced death machines ever concocted by man, to your granddad's crusty old crop duster. Jump into combat in almost anything. The detail is immaculate. Sharp textures, crisp sounds. Every vehicle is delicately modelled right down to the corest of components. Engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and even the lads inside. All of these are individually targetable, and in X-ray view, you'll see everything close up. The game has had over 95 million players. Join them. War Thunder is free to play on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and now mobile devices too. You're a new or returning player on PC or consoles? Well, for a limited time, here's a massive bonus pack, including an exclusive vehicle decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, 7 days of premium, plus a ton more. Just sign up through the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Now, for some quick context, a few years before Fallout 4 was even announced, Bethesda let Obsidian Entertainment, a Californian development team with several key people from Fallout's original dev team, take the wheel and crank out a Fallout 3 spin-off based on their original plan for Fallout 3 back in 2004. With only 18 months to get the game out the door, they got to work immediately, and in 2010, Fallout New Vegas was released. Wait, was that traits from the first games? Joinable factions? An in-depth reputation system?
I hate the air that you breathe!
And actual skill and attribute checks in dialogue and out in the world?
Man, I can't wait to see the look on his face.
Also, the writing here is actually good. The world? Pretty deeply thought out, with multiple factions at play, an interesting conflict, and actual player choice. The characters are also well written, and if you don't like someone, that's fine, because this is always an option. Then there's almost every chain of side quests in the game affecting the main story and the ending slideshow. There are actually hundreds of endings here. We were looking at a 3D Fallout game with actual RPG mechanics and good writing here. In fact, the game had fixed almost everything wrong with Fallout 3, and it was phenomenal. Obsidian even had to work around the crusty Gamebryo engine code, with all the issues that came with it. For instance, if anything in the game is voiced, there has to be a character to actually voice it. This leads to characters in the game like Ron the narrator, Bill the tax collector, and Testicles the debug centurion. The ending slideshow is also an actual in-game slideshow your character's locked into looking at, with Ron the narrator behind it. Anyway, due to the engine, the short development time they'd been given, and the colossal 500 megabytes of RAM they'd had to work with consoles, the big plans they had for the city had to be trimmed considerably. But 18 months in, and Obsidian had made one of the best role-playing games of all time. However, because it's so jam-packed and was made in such a short time, it has a rough start. It's horrifically buggy and horribly optimized on release, almost unplayable in some cases. There's literally a bug where you can't enter the main strip of New Vegas without wearing the old cowboy hat. The bugs are eventually patched, but because of its release date, New Vegas receives 84 points on Metacritic. That was just 1 point short for the bonus Bethesda would have given them, as per the contract. As a result, layoffs at Obsidian, and around 20 to 30 people have vanished. Nefarious theories about Bethesda begin to float. Some fans even suggest
game was rigged from the start.
Obsidian would go on to pitch a Fallout New Vegas 2 and a similar spin-off with Elder Scrolls. A guaranteed cash cow for both parties. But this time, Bethesda says no. And that was the end of it. Fallout 4, probably the most hyped game of 2015. It had been half a decade since we'd last heard anything at all from the franchise, so people are naturally quite excited to jump back in. And on the 10th of November 2015, the game is out the door. The reviews, amazing. 9.5 out of 10 IGN. YouTubers are even calling it near perfect. However, when people actually get their hands on the game, they dig in. And it's neither of those things. During development, Bethesda had looked at Fallout 3's gunplay. Yeah, not really up to standards, boys. So they pulled some programmers from id, who were developing Doom at the time, to help them make actual, functional FPS combat. And as a result, the gameplay here, a lot better. The gun modification system from New Vegas is back, and it's heavily expanded. It's actually very good here, and utilises the horde of absolute shit you amass while playing the game. Also, more voice actors. So now every third NPC in the game no longer sounds the exact same. Plus, a few other elements of Fallout 4 had clearly taken some inspiration from New Vegas. This game actually has joinable factions, and they play a big role in the resolution of the main storyline. An improvement. Companions are also a lot better than 3's. They have personalities here, and even their own quests too, like in New Vegas. They now also like or dislike certain actions you do, depending on said personality. There's now a sprint button, and that new power armor, pretty cool. However, That's generally where the good ends. See, after a bumpy start, Fallout fans had come to love New Vegas, one of the best RPGs of all time, some even claim. And so, as a following game in the same franchise, some people expected Fallout 4 to improve, maybe even build upon it. No. Todd Howard is, at this point, a legendary game designer, a 4 times world champion. His ideas were groundbreaking. He couldn't be caged, and his process was not changing for this game. He, and Bethesda as a whole, could do no wrong. This was going to be another smash hit.
Yeah.
Širiš ovu robu izvrni je kako treba.
Nemoj da mi tresiš to tuda, molim te. Samo nemoj.
Pa ti stresi.
A nemoj pa, zato što je bilo mokro od ulja. Ako mi smereš bilo mokro od ulja.
Ja ti vjerujem, samo kad ga širiš dolje, kad ga širiš na žicu, raširi ga s prave strane. Osuši.
Regardless, Game of the Year was essentially coded in. And so again, simplification. The character system in Fallout 3, far too confusing. Special attributes, perks, and skills? Eat. So they remove skills entirely, and merge them into perks and attributes. Traits are still nowhere to be found. The speech. See, half the charm of the old Fallouts are the branching effects of dialogue. The various quest lines and scraps of information you can wrangle from people using only the gift of the gab.
Who is it? What? I should kick your fucking ass. Who is this?
So for Fallout 4, Emil and the rest of Bethesda's crack writing team sit down. What Fallout really needs is an emotional story, boys. Also, Todd's been quite blatantly gunning for a more mainstream crowd for over a decade now, and no one in the general public can really read anymore due to brain rot. So let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and go for a voiced protagonist. What they didn't see coming, they couldn't possibly have predicted, was that voicing every single line of dialogue your character says in the game 2 times.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
I am Barbie girl, I said.
Is a bit expensive and quite time consuming. So Todd and the team do what they do best. Streamline dialogue they couldn't and go for a voiced protagonist. What they didn't see coming, they couldn't possibly have predicted, was that voicing every single line of dialogue your character says in the game 2 times.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
I am Barbie girl, I said.
Is a bit expensive and quite time consuming. So Todd and the team do what they do best. Streamline. That old iconic speech system? Get rid of it. That Mass Effect game is pretty good. Let's use theirs. Let's also lock the player down to 4 speech options at all times. And let's not even allow them to see what those options are. Brilliant. This results in a ton of speech options being quite deceiving.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
And because writing is hard, let's just boil every speech option down to yes, sarcastic yes, maybe yes, and no, but actually yes. 2 of the first and most popular mods to come out removes the voiceovers entirely and actually shows you what you're saying, and this problem becomes quite plain to see. Skills are gone, and as a result, skill speech checks and dialogue gone too. Special attribute speech checks too. There are charisma speech checks in the game.
I don't believe you.
But they rarely result in anything other than give me money.
All right. 200. 150.
The protagonist's voice lines, which caused half the issues here, make up for around 25% of the game's dialogue data and script. That's about 26,000 lines. All of this time and expense on a feature which fans hate and actively makes the game significantly worse. Brilliant. At least the dialogue's well written.
If you're here to talk me into working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
Do I need to remind you why you made that promise in the first place?
No, that won't be necessary. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready.
Then there's the karma system, which they'd gotten rid of, the faction system, but instead of the varied reputations like we'd gotten in New Vegas, You're basically either with someone or against them. The skill and attribute checks they had out in the world in Fallout 3 basically nowhere to be found. They did put a couple in there though, just enough to remind us that they could have done it, but didn't. Far fewer evil character options, weapon durability is gone. The new, worse, layered armor system, holstered weapons are no longer visible. And the ending slideshow is not even gimped, it's just completely non-existent. The game ends on essentially the exact same cutscene for all 4 endings.
Playing every hour on every channel.
For Fallout 4, Todd also doubled down on the procedural stuff again, and attempted to make the game infinitely replayable. And to do this, they've cooked up the settlement system.
It's done.
A base building framework that allows you to construct your own towns across the map and establish trade routes between them. Sounds great. But again, there are issues. The entire interface for base building is from the perspective of the player, limiting and obstructing camera angles, making construction a nightmare. There's also a ton of building and trash in the way that you can't scrap and have to build around. Again, a nightmare. Not a fan of the system? Unlucky. Because this mechanic is pretty much unavoidable. Elements are mandatory in the main quest, and one of the 4 factions' quest lines completely revolves around it. However, a benefit. Due to this new settlement system,
All of this just works.
players can now build their own settlements. No need for Bethesda to even bother. As a result, the game is majorly lacking in actual towns. Morrowind had something like 21 towns. Fallout 3 had about 15 proper settlements. New Vegas around 15 too. Fallout 4, 5 years later, somewhere around 7. The main city is also quite underwhelming. Less settlements equals less quests. And surprise surprise, Fallout 4 is lacking here too. It has less than Skyrim, a game that came out 4 years earlier. Missing the towns and quests our old games had an abundance of? Well, here's a tiny hovel next to a lake for you to do up yourself. There are around 30 of these potential settlements, and Bethesda uses these to pad out the game's lack of content via more radiant quests. See, there's a man in the game called Preston Garvey, and he's about to become your worst nightmare. Prepare to hear this every time you speak to the man for the rest of the game. Naturally, the character is widely hated.
I'll mark it on your map.
But turns out, he's essential. 10,000 people download a mod solely dedicated to killing him. There's also a mod that just stops him giving out quests in an attempt to make him more tolerable. It has around 50,000 downloads. Others turn to alternative ways of doing it. Settlements are also just kind of pointless.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
They have no impact on the main quest, and most of the actual settlers are just basic, randomly generated NPCs. You get money and items from establishing trade routes, but at the end of the game, you're pretty much drowning in all of that anyway. But Todd wasn't finished with the procedural
Novice.
stuff just yet.
Welcome to my channel.
In New Vegas, there were a ton of unique weapons. These had unique effects
Hello.
and actually looked unique.
Welcome, welcome.
In 3, most uniques had unique effects, but looked exactly the same as their default. In 4, due to the new procedural legendary weapon system, any gun can now basically have any effect, meaning no weapons here actually feel unique. The same goes for armor. When it comes down to the amount of actual content in the game, disappointment here too. Cut content, par for the course for Bethesda games, but it's never been more apparent. The map is densely populated like Skyrim, with a ton of interesting locations. The issue is, they all essentially end up just being a nice little backdrop to murder people in. Oh cool, a town made out of old boat, barge and ship parts. It's just a bunch of raiders you have to kill. A gladiator-style arena in the middle of downtown Boston, just a bunch of raiders to kill, with no reason to ever return. Fallout 4 is barely even attempting to be an RPG anymore. It's a sandbox, base building, looter-shooter, action exploration game. In 3, Bethesda had absolutely nailed the atmosphere. It's pretty much unanimously praised. So in 4, they change it completely. The gloomy, gritty, post-apocalyptic vibes of 3 turn into bright, colourful, and hopeful in Fallout 4. The music too. Also, for a AAA game in 2015, the graphics are not great. Stiff animations and pretty horrific textures across the board. The super mutants look especially bad. Compared to The Witcher 3 the same year, yeah, not great. Despite the bad graphics, the game runs terribly. Fallout 4 also features an art style change that in a lot of cases does the game no favours. Some weapons look weird, tools look worse, and super mutants go from deformed, hunched over mutants to just large green men. We don't talk about the synth armor. Also, is that gun bolt on the wrong side? The writing. Again, Emil is back as head writer, and as a result, we're served an absolute masterclass of storytelling. We emerge from a vault, looking for an immediate family member. Again. The big silver people. They're back, and central to the storyline. Again. Look, Giant Robot Man finale. Again. Also, you've just left the vault with the sole mission of finding your only child, who's just been ripped from the clutches of your lifeless spouse. Only to immediately get sidetracked by Steve down the road, who needs some help building a shed. Not too long after the game comes out, Emil does a talk where he explains his writing method. It's controversial.
Keep it simple, stupid. This is what happens at Bethesda. When you write the main story of a game, we're gonna write the great American novel. It's gonna be this thick. Keep it simple, stupid. And you're gonna give this book, this great American novel, to the player. And what are they gonna do with it? They're gonna rip out every page and make paper airplanes out of it. And they're never gonna see your story. They are gonna spend 30 hours making chats. This is who we're making the game for. That's not the end of being a video game developer. Because the true mark of being a real developer is waiting for reviews to come in. And then reading the reviews, of course, and hopefully, if you get lucky, ignoring the reviews.
Then there's the design of the game. Emil is head of that too. See, lead designers of a game usually have this thing called a design document. This is available to everyone on the team and sets out pretty much everything the game is trying to achieve, keeping everyone on the same page at all times. New people join the company midway through development, just send them the design doc, and they'll be up to speed. Design docs are usually constantly updated throughout development, so if something changes, it'll be reflected on the document. But turns out, the lead designer is not a fan. Design docs take a bit of time to keep up to date, and it's just a bit too much effort. So for Fallout 4, he basically just scraps it, apparently resorting to a few smaller ones for specific areas of development. Now, Bethesda games are not small projects. Their studios consists of hundreds of people collaborating across multiple countries.
We don't give two shits about how technology works, because all we care about is getting rich.
And now they're going about this without a cohesive, shared document. Doesn't sound ideal.
Not a great plan.
He receives a ton of backlash for this, and later walks it back in a tweet. And of course, the bugs are numerous. And incredibly basic things are still missing. There's still no ultra-wide support, or even an FOV slider, even though you can easily change it by modifying the ini file. This is on a PC in the year 2015. But of course, Bethesda knows their fanbase will clean it all up for them, so it's all good. When Fallout 4 first released in November 2015, Todd and the boys offered a season pass for $30, including access to all future DLC content. At the time, the scope of the DLC isn't public knowledge, but the last two Fallouts had a clear formula of 4 to 5 decently sized story expansions, with new locations, quests, weapons, and enemies. So people expect something similar here. Bethesda had also stated that the season pass would be worth at least $40 in total. Pretty sweet deal. February 2016, and Bethesda has an announcement. They've expanded their original vision for 4's DLC.
You with me?
And the season pass price is getting bumped up to $50 in March. If you hadn't already, you better get that season pass now. They released their first expansion that same month, and it's a small questline with a character from Fallout 3, as well as a new robot building system. So right, I guess? April 2016, and DLC 2 is released, Wasteland Workshop. This is basically just a few more things you can craft for your settlements, and some arena fighting. Okay. May 2016, and we get the first proper expansion, Bar Harbor, and this is actually decent. Bethesda had clearly taken in some feedback here, because it includes actual RPG elements and is decently written. Let's just ignore that one quest there. They then released 2 more workshop quests there. RPG elements and is decently written. Let's just ignore that one.
Welcome to The Know, I'm Adam Ellis.
And I'm Joel Heyman.
Is Bethesda taking cues from its own games and working on their pickpocketing skills?
That may be the case according to one modder who's alleging that a Fallout 4 questline might be a direct ripoff of his New Vegas mod.
Controversy on console mods, the possible theft of the community mod. Bethesda just isn't having any luck at all with modders lately.
That's terrible. The mod in question is a mod from Fallout New Vegas created by modder Gume Baron von Chateau. Veer. That's good. Titled Autumn Leaves, Veer's mod featured 7 to 10 hours of gameplay complete with original voice acting and multiple endings.
It launched just a few weeks ahead of Fallout 4's release, which meant it went largely unnoticed, except perhaps by Bethesda.
The mod is surprisingly well written and actually involves no fighting at all, just a lengthy exploration of a hidden vault and something nefarious which may have gone down inside the vault.
It's up to the player to investigate a crime scene within the vault, interrogating its inhabitants to determine who the murderer is and why they did it. Oh, and by the way, everyone involved is a robot.
See, I thought it was going to be Adam, but apparently. This may be starting to sound a little bit familiar to you if you've played any of the Fallout 4's Far Harbor DLC, which features a remarkably similar setup in one quest line titled Brain Dead.
Remarkably similar is putting it mildly. In a blog post on ModDB, Veer breaks down a number of similarities between both his mod and Brain Dead, and the amount of similarities is almost shocking.
Shocking. For starters, the 2 stories start out almost identically. The players talk to the vault's caretaker, a robot with a distinguished personality, via a radio. After a brief introduction, the vault opens and players are ushered inside, Adam.
That's how all vault entrances start, so I'm not surprised yet.
The door opens.
All right, anyways, and things keep piling on from there. Screenshots and gameplay shows that the central area where most of the storyline unfolds, a library in Autumn Leaves, and a stage in Brain Dead carry more than a passing resemblance, as do the characters and the way the whole story unfolds.
Both stories rely on a red herring where evidence is planted by a robot that belonged to, you guessed it, another robot. In one, it's a bat, and the other, it's a badge. They both involve talking to each other and the robot's undercover dudes. First time we did this.
Oh my god, it's a murder mystery.
I'd
so
that.
Whatever. There's even scenes in both quests where you have to talk to a robot about art, which is pretty weird.
You can actually go watch Let's Plays of both of these things to see for yourself. This isn't an exaggeration. These quests play out almost the same exact way.
Now, of course, the modding community is rallying to Veer's defense, trying to call out Bethesda for what seems like a straight-up rip-off of a well-made mod.
But did Bethesda actually steal it? On the surface, the evidence looks bad for Bethesda, but there are some arguments being made in their defense.
Really? For one, the DLC for Fallout 4 was likely already well in development at the time of Autumn Leaves' release. It came out just a few weeks ahead of Fallout 4, so it's unlikely that Bethesda saw it, played it, and rushed to include it in Far Harbor. I agree.
No, totally, I agree also. Plus, while both stories involve some similarities, there's quite a bit about them that is different. In Autumn Leaves, for instance, the story concerns robots choosing to kill their creator in order to protect the prime directive he initially gave them.
Whereas in Brain Dead, the murder motive is just a little bit different. We won't spoil it here in case you haven't played it.
No, we won't.
But it's different. Trust us.
Completely different. Plus, Brain Dead manages to carry out its mystery in about 30 minutes, while Autumn Leaves happens in about 7 to 10 hours. So it's
different lengths, as you can
lengths,
tell.
Time, hands.
In addition to all that, it's possible that many of the similarities are perhaps happenstance, arrived independently by both creators for the same reasons.
I totally agree. For one, if you're going to create a murder mystery about Fallout universe, what better place to set it than Living Vaults?
Second, robots are a huge part of the Fallout universe in general as well, so it makes some sense to have some fun with the story built around them, right? It's an easy way to make a murder mystery feel unique to the series.
However, the stuff about art, as well as some of the themes and methods
welcome to my channel. D.
Šta se radi, komar?
Šta ima, komara?
Si na rabot? Da učiš neđe na otvoreno?
A na posao sam. Au. Šta se radi, si igra malo ARK?
Sam sa sobom, da. Više sam progresa napravio nego s vama.
Pa naravno.
To što ste vi fokusirani na pucanje, možete igrati Counter-Strike što se mene tiče. Ja sam bio fokusiran na to da unapredim bazu.
Aj.
Dobro, pa je. Kako je poslije pauze na robotu opet?
Da, isti kurac meni. Nije teško tako da je lako, šta?
Pa jel ti nedostali si se bio u lenje, tako to?
Ne, meni je isti kurac. Znam da ako moram da radim, znam da moram da radim. Boli me kurac, pomirim sudbinu odmah. Nema tu kao moram da radim, ne mogu ja da radim. Boli me kurac da ne mogu da radim. Mogu da radim, šta je isti mi je kurac. Radio, ne radio. To je trenutno stanje, razumiješ?
Kapiram.
Imaš stanje...
Uma.
Tačno. Kad si svjesan da je nešto... Znači, ako mi je odmor, ja sam na odmor, ne interesuje me posao, totalno sam zaboravio posao, razumiješ? A ako sam na posao, totalno sam zaboravio odmor.
Da nemam odmor.
Tačno. I to da nemam.
Nezavisno za posao. Možeš da otključaš crafting onoga Rider kije, kako zove, Rider Hatch kije.
Da, vidio sam to.
I treba ti refiner level 2. I kad napraviš refiner level 2 možeš svaki meč, na primjer, da iskraftaš sebi advanced electrical component, da ga staviš u inventar i trebaju ti 3 diode. Kao ne, kako se zove, pa diode, da. I to iskombinuješ, a to možeš samo kad si u meču da napraviš. Poneseš komponente i čim startaš meč, napraviš sebi ključ i staviš ga u safety pocket. I pred kraj meča samo nađeš prvi najbliži hatch i samo tap kroz njega uđeš.
A zašto ne bi sve te materijale kupio?
Ne možeš u bazi.
A dobro, napravio 12 ključeva i izašao napolje odmah. I proda sve to.
A ne prodaje se to, nije to baš tako...
A ne prodaje se 9.000 košta, znači 4.500.
Ne ide tako, uopšte nije. Samo frakcija cene, znam kad kupujem municiju. 10 metaka me košta, na primjer, par hiljada, razumeš? Hiljada i nešto. A da prodaš kutiju, mislim da je svaka kutija od 40 stak metaka ili 120, nebitno, koštate da je prodaš oko... Mislim da je $400, 400 kredita dobiješ, znači nikakve pare. Uopšte nisi u pravu. Ako si mislio da preprodaješ stvari, ne, to ti je više dobar fazon. Ali moraš uzeti tu specijalizaciju, to sam ja uzeo na desnu granu. To ti je ono što ti piše craft more items, field craft more items dok si u meču. I onda možeš da craftaš sebi ključ. Ali to je samo ljudi koji su se specijalizovali u to. Neko koji se specijalizovao u trčanje po mapi, on nema tu opciju.
Mlad je još Mlad je i neurotičan, polako, naučiti se.
To pričaš o nekom kolegi?
Pričamo kešilicu, keš, znači. Kešilicu, naš mali neurotičan.
Stavio sam video, neki lik je bacio vodič da je najbolje naći te sastojke za unapređivanje crafting station. Neke sam provalio sam.
Vidjet ćemo.
Da.
Danas kad dođe moram sa rajom da isprebačam neke...
Koze.
Neki papir ima grdilo, oni dječje knjige i to, znaš.
Što?
I sad ne bih ja to da bačam u smeće. I onda sam naš postoraja reciklira to i te fore, znaš kako to ide.
Reciklira?
Ba da.
Kako? Prodaje ili presuje papir, šta radi?
Pa možda presuje pa pali znaš kako to ide. staklo, papir, gvožđe, sve.
Pa šta
Bez
ima?
animacije.
Ima presu kući za to, šta radi?
Pa da. Onda proda, kad skupi dosta toga, onda proda i tako.
Ovo čovjek ima hobi, to je lepo.
Pa da. To ti ono, kad si u penziju i možeš da radiš šta hoćeš, razumiješ?
Upravo tako, nebitno da li je pecanje ili slaganje knjiga po policama.
Nebitno šta je.
A šta god
Nešto
hoćeš.
radiš nešto što voliš i to je to. Ništa drugo.
Kaže Vlada popravljaš sjelice, ali veruj mi, sad kad radim nekako mi se slobodno vreme ne popravljaju sjelice. To smo ga mi zazvali.
Da, ali sad kad razmisliš ipak ti se popravljaju sjelice, ili?
Ne, to jedino sam u penziji, ne znam šta će od sebe, onda bi popravljao sjelice.
To. Pa on je otprilike tu, razumiješ, on ne zna šta će od sebe.
Državni posao, državna plata, razbi briga. Ne znam kako ti kažem.
Čekaj sam sekundu. Krekaš, treba ti pomoć! Kreko! Treba li pomoć? Onda spuštiš to? Moj kume, ti misliš da je to...
Da.
Gledaj, nije bitno da li se isplati, razumiješ, taj posao što radiš ili se ne isplati. Mislim, ne taj posao, nego to što Vlado popravlja sjelicu. Njega to ispunjava, razumiješ?
Radi ga.
I onda, što da ne?
Što da ne?
Da je. Jel ti nisi nikad ništa pravio, ja znam to tebe...
Ne radi me.
Pa da, radilo bi te, ali nemaš ti za to, razumiješ, ti samo odeš i kupiš šta ti treba. A ljudi ono...
Crafting. Jel to?
Da, to ljudi vole, razumiješ. A jebote kad pogledaš te snimke po YouTube ovi što popravljaju to sve muškarci gledaju, ono vole da gledaju.
Do it yourself.
Da.
Ja volim da se igram sa elektronikom računarskom, ne znam. Kad sam ti da odvalim neki breket.
Da, ali ne znaš da popravljaš, na primjer, ne bi znao da zamijeniš kondenzator i tako.
Neću to da radim.
Pa vidiš, da.
Nemam vremena, nemam alat, neću da ulažem u alat. Nemam sigurne ruke, nemam elektronski mikroskop, neću da se bavim s tim. Velike su investicije da bi ja sad to radio. I to se isplati ljudima koji se profesionalno bave time i uzimaju lovu da kupe toliku tehniku i onda radi za sebe malo honorarno, radi za sebe onako kao sporedno, a naplaćuje drugim ljudima to. To može, ono što ja ti gledali što lik uzme, ne znam, grafičke karte, matrične ploče, ovo ono, i onda ono pokušava da reparira, znaš, to ne pokušava. Ako oceni da je stane da može da je popravi, uzme i popravi je, vrlo jednostavno. Ako ne, onda kaže ne može.
Pa to ti kažem, to je pametan. Kume, ti si muško kaj svi drugi muškarci, sve muškarci isto radi.
To mi je prevelika investicija, ja radim ove low-tech zebancije.
Pa to.
Meni je low-tech, kupio sam mikrostarov cooler fabrički, uzeo sam i raskubao sam ga i stavio sam Noctu je kvalitetnija 15 puta od ovoga.
Da, pa da. To se stavio ne Noctu, što su stare 5 godina, koliko više.
Pa 5 godina, ali oni imaju one kuglične reževe, taj metal bearing.
Oni rade posao, pa to ću kažem, da. Kvalitet. A vidiš, takve stvari ti interesuje, razumiješ, i to voliš da znaš. I ja, na primjer, znaš kako ja hoću kad, na primjer, znaš da kupio motorku, ne znam si ti pričao.
Šta si radio s lancem nešto, ne?
Ma ne, kupio sam motorku novu i čeka sam drva doma, znaš, nego pitanje to što sam ti reći, kad sam kupio motor, prije što ću je kupit, prvo sam u tome sve pročitao što je moglo da se pročita, razumiješ, zato što me interesovalo, kontaš. I sad, na primjer, to je neka stvar koju ja znam, kontaš.
To ne radi.
što me radi, da. Radi me da znam, slušaj, radi me da znam šta da kupim. Da ne kupim sranje, razumiješ? I na kraju sam kupio imaš motorku za 100 eura, a imaš za 200 eura, 250 eura što sam ja uzeo, a imaš i za 1500 eura, znaš. Ja sam uzeo ovu za 250 koliko mi dođe.
Jesi ispita onu ciganku za motorku, on ti je rekao da ima, ali ne može ti da...
Pa jest, ma ne, pa ja sam, slušaj, ja sam imao motorku jednu doma, tu malu, znaš, i s tom sam kidao i onda to je bilo video, znaš, onda se vrnuo video, znaš, što je vrnuo i rekao kupit ću ja sebi, znaš, da ja, onda sam ostavio ta drva, kupio sebi, ja i šeka, razumiješ, a Beku kad sam pita, on kao priča, ono, kao ima, nema, znaš, ono, nema lufte, vrate, znaš. I onda sam ga bio mutirao, nismo pričali jedno, neđe 2 dana, znaš. Nisam mogao stvarno slušam više. Kažeš mi jedno, radiš drugo, misliš treće. I onda kao kad mi je rekao ja sam sa 24 godine, to je najjača rečenica. Ja sam sa 24 godine odlučio, znaš, ću sa 24. 16. septembra u 7 sati 49 minuta 56 sekundi sam ja odlučio. Zamisli to?
Šta je odlučio, da?
Pa da kao nikome više ne pomaže, da njemu ne treba pomoći nikog i da on nikome ne ide da pomaže, znaš.
Pa, to stoji, vidi, donekle se slažem, ne valja se cimat oko bilo koga, nemoj da me sad shvatiš pogrešno.
Ne, upravo si, znam ja da jesi, ali... A ne možeš gledati...
Zavisi ko te pita, razumiješ, neću sigurno da odeš da kaže van svog nekog cilja da bi, razumiješ, pomoga random nekom, razumiješ. Ne znam, došao je brat od kolege s posla i pitao, imaš li, ne znam, rezač kao čitač. Ja rekao što? Pa trebalo bi da mi kao, ako može neko da mi uzme s ovog CD-a da mi to prebaci na flešku. Ja rekao ja to ne radim, ima možda Sima. I ja da im pitam Sima mu kaže da trenutno ne koristi, da mu ne radi, ne znam, Sima nešto izvrda. Ja sam to skinuo sa sebe, niti mi ta zanimacija treba, nije da neću da pomognem, nego neću s Sima oko toga.
Ma neću da imam čitač, bre, uopšte.
Ili kao kad je bile, kad je bilo popularno ovi štampači, znaš. Tu su bile epizode kao kjevamo u fazonu, pa što ne kupiš štampač, pa to je dobro da si ima ovo, ja rekao ne. Poslije da mi dolazi kusi jer je pati da mu, kao imaš štampač, možeš da mi ovo iskopiraš, fotokopiraš, izvučeš, mađe, kao platit ću ti ču. To su one fore, platit ću ti, ali kao fazonu nećeš valjda da mi naplatiš u tom fazonu. To je ono kao beka, daj kao naši smo kao u fazonu, znaš. I onda ti dođe da mu kažeš evo ti fino štampač, pa ti radi ljudima. Tako. To je Petar Savić radi, znaš. Možete u Peru da kažete što ćete. Pa onaj Petar Savić što živi puta Markovnicu. Za Božu.
Pa šta je uradio?
Pa Božu mu dolazi u kuću. Božo Britva. Dolazio mu u gluvo doba noći. Imao satelitsku kao antenu, imao ono kao internet preko nekog zove satelitskog receivera. I mu je dolazio u fazonu u gluvo doba noći, u 10-11 uveče, znaš. Sjedne kod njega kompjuter, pa skida s interneta, snima, downloaduje, gleda I Pero reka, Božo, skidaj nas. Znači, dao mu je karticu, dao mu je antenu, znaš, skrova, sve mu je dao. Što nije mogao da ga šćera iz kuće, znaš, ko dosta nam bio.
Da živjeti od njega, da.
Samo reka, skidaj nosi. I taj problem skinuo se sebe. Ne, čitao u kući što mu je dao. Rekaj, ne treba mi.
Čitao u kući.
Da, čitao u kući. Sa sve tom antenom i sa karticom svim. I rekao je, ne treba mi trenutno kompjuter, radi, nema vremena. ono, evo ti ga, znaš da ga koristiš, ono, kad bude treba, pitaću. I posljedno pol godine Savić...
Proda.
Prodaj. Ovaj kaže ja 100
Je li
proda.
majke?
Ja 100 proda. Savić, neka si. Da smo zdravo. I više se nisu po tom pitanju družili, znaš. Zato ja kad ga vidim, ako ga vidim i kad iđe, rukujem se, zdravo, zdravo, dobar dan. Popričamo malo kad neku uslugu od mene osjećam da nadolazi. Da on mene traži, rekao, to upravo se veže s onim. Ovo ono, ti imaš to i to, mogli bismo jedan dan, mogli bismo, ako si ima vremena i tako, to ja to, znaš, onako pametno eskiviram i prijatno, djaci. Ajde, zdravo. Neće da imam posla tako.
Ma džebreču.
Ti je gori, nažalost, što ću ovo reći, gori je 15 puta od Beke. Beka ima neke detinje fazone koje se lako provale. Ova je maher.
A nije, provali se, znaš da je ljigav i to je to.
Znaš ga, zato što ga mi znamo, razumeš, iz iskustva drugih ljudi, ali da ga ne poznaješ ovako. Ima njegova čuvena izjava, znaš. Brate, ja ću tebi da učinim 100 puta, ako ti meni, kad meni treba, ako ti meni nećeš jednom da učiniš, ja i ti smo završili.
Da.
Jesi razumiješ šta ste rekli? Znači on će tebi učinjati kao kad god, znaš, može. A kao ti njemu moraš svaki, znaš, jednom da ga ukaže da ne možeš, gotovo je, kao više se ne družite, znaš, ne prete si. Ja ga slušam, šta priča čovjek. Kod je, ono, znaš, mafija špageti.
Nema mafija više špageti od njega nema više ođe.
Nema.
Rekao mi Beka da je neđe vozi valjda kamione na stratu, da li tako da?
Navodno je, pa je bio na incident u Subotici, streka.
Kad je ono štampao one govne.
Ne to, uhapšeni su krijumčari oružja, imali su u posjedu, ne znam, zaplenjeno oružje, ne znam, 50.000 evra u lažnim novčanicama u jednom stanu. I pisala nešto u fazonu, neidentifikovano lice, ali pod pseudonimom BK iz opštine Bačka Topola, Subotičkog okruga. I sad ima snimak par primjeraka vatrenog naoružanja, dosta onih lažnih novčanica, malo ono, ne znam da li je narkotika, ne mogu da se sjetim. Mislim da nije. Ono tako neki gluposti, kaže ti štampani novac, oružje i te gluposti. Ono, low mafijaši, znaš, ono, niska mafija, znaš. Ono da se neće pokačiti sa jačima od sebe, što bilo iz drogom.
Ne, da niko neće poubijati, razumiješ?
Neće, samo rizikuju da ih, razumeš, država uhapsi.
Izbije, i da ih izbije neko.
To je to. Ako pogrešnim ljudima probaju pare da daju. I vidio sam na fotografiji u novinama kućište, ono njegova rekao. Ne, kućište.
Bartona.
Ne Bartona. On imao Chief Tower. Chief Tower, Barton. Šta Barton? Šta Barton? Jeste, bio je neko vreme, pre 20 godina. Ali kućište je zadržao, kućište je jednostavno veliki format i jako kvalitetno rađeno. Nije se menjao format kućišta zadnjih 20 godina. Koji je imao medium kućište. Format ploča, makar se nije menjao.
Kad sam ja imao ono šugao kućište staro, onoga Intela i7.
Ja sam uzeo čovjeku za novu mašinu, mislim da je bilo za Drakulu da smo uzeli. Uzeli smo mu za njegov računar kod Đurđevca kućište za bukvalno lim za 500 dinara. Lim, ono najgori, znaš. Samo da ima dovoljno prostora da se sve komponente stave.
Ne. Radi posao.
Upravo to, što da daje 50 evra, 100 evra za glupost. Kad svejedno, ono, nismo mu uzeli napajanje tad.
Ne prave se te komponente da zahtevaju dodatno lađenje, no lađenje, ono, stok može da ga ćera i tako da...
To.
Razumiješ? I da ne može, onda ćeš aftermarket neko lađenje da staviš i to je to. A i da to ne pomaže, ne možeš, ne treba ti ono kao ventilatori na kući što je protok vazduha, znaš one gluposti, što su prije kao pokušali da nabače, sjećaš se? To je bilo ono 2008. Tako, sjećaš se?
Kako misliš?
Kad su forsirali ono da kućišta budu zatvorena, da ulazime one kao one mrežice, one, znaš da?
To ti ide nas radi, ako nisi provalio.
Da, ali to niko, svi znaju da to ništa ne pomaže. To nema smisla.
Ne znam Drakulica ne zna, znaš. Pokušavam da ga ubedim da on kaže u fazonu kućište mu ispoda stala, znaš. I bukvalno par puta je znao je da ga šutne nogom, ono, dok će odigra nešto. I da ne bi uletio nogom u kućište, on stavi, znaš, stranicu. Ja mu kažem da ga digne neđe gdje ga ne vidi, da mu ne smeta i da...
Da kabel produžni.
I da ga otvori, on kao u fazonu pa uleće prašina, prašina uleće je svejedno, otvorio ti kućište ili zatvorio. Ako bar vidiš koliko prašina ima, pa možda ga očistiš. Kad ga zatvoriš nemaš pojma šta se dešava unutra.
Ma to je sve u suštini sranje, to ti ništa ne treba. Znaš sam.
Ne znam.
A znaš sam, i to što kaže prašina, svakako ga moraš izduvavati.
Jeste.
Šta kuma, čućemo se kad dođem, vaš?
Važi kumara, pozdrav.
Lijep, čao, čao.